Yo, what up, y'all? Thank y'all so much for dropping by, man. So I'm just about to dive right in, man. So it appears, man, we've been dealing with like some people that been jumping ship, some people that been selling out on Xbox, talking down, talking about the underdogs, like Xbox can't do this, Xbox can't do that. We got some bad publicity and bad press and bloggers and vloggers talking about how Hi-Fi Rush flopped. But they're not talking about how Forspoken flopped. Like, make it make sense, ponies. We already know it's the ponies. It's the hate train, man. They see Xbox, Uncle Phil, and Game Pass is out here doing things big, man. They already talking about they're pretty much going to pass the Call of Duty Activision Blizzard deal. Then, on top of that, they're making big moves. People are coming out saying Fable is about to come up soon, so we can prepare for that one. Not only that, Redfall is about to drop to really make these ponies pull their hair out. Then we get ready for Starfield, then Stalker 2, then Hellblade 2, then Forza Motorsports. Come on, man. That's bangers after bangers after bangers after bangers dropping day one into Game Pass, man. And like I said before, man, this year PS5 is trash, bro. They ain't got no games. All the fanboys and ponies are mad and upset all over there on Twitter, typing on their little keyboards, all in their feelings, mad because they ain't got no bangers on their plastic box, on that frame drop plastic box remake station. You can't get mad at us and then you want to go back in time and then now you want to try to pick on Hi-Fi Rush. Is this a joke? Man, come on, man. Like, how y'all gonna come out and say, oh, well, now since we pretty much messed up with pretty much, you already know Horizon done went woke, and that just completely pissed the whole entire gaming industry off. Like, why would you do that? Like, now you got it just don't make any sense, man. Why would you go in that direction when the game was already a great game? Like, who thought of that? Not saying there's nothing wrong with being woke, but I'm saying, why does politics have to make their way to gaming? And that's when the equality comes in at, because straight people can't say nothing about wokeness, but wokeness can say anything they want to about straight people. That's what I'm saying. That's where I said it. That's why I draw the line and say that's not fair, that's not equality. So I feel like some gamers should be able to speak out on that. They should say, hey man, that's not really fair that they're just taking over everything. The woke movement is taking over everything. And a fine example, but like, you go woke, you go broke. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of news. Bloggers and vloggers been coming out, people jumping sides, you know what I'm saying? And I've been hearing a lot of ponies talk noise, man. I've been hearing a lot of ponies talk noise, man. And I ain't letting it slide no more, man. All these little fanboys that's jumping ship, coming back and forth, trying to say that, oh, now I like Xbox again, now I'm over it. Can you please forgive us and let us back on the train? You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, man, if you haven't made your mind up by the time Redfall comes out, the tickets will be sold out and you cannot come back to the Team Xbox Game Pass, the green team. It's over. The tickets are sold out and you will not be able to get in on the Xbox fan base, man. Like, do not switch out when we have all these big moves on the way. Xbox is buying Call of Duty, Activision Blizzard, and King. They got all these day ones, AAA bangers, indie games, multi-plat games dropping in the Game Pass day one, and now you want to switch out on Xbox because you want content, because you want clicks and views, and you want to have this little something to talk about with this little fake outrage. Like, oh, you need to go get a PS5 because it's better than Xbox because it runs at frame rate. Since when have frame rate became such a big thing? Whenever PS5 ain't got no games, now they got to go after frame rate, and now they got to go bringing up games like Hi-Fi Rush. Come on, man, that game already did big numbers. Y'all seen what Hi-Fi Rush did when it came out? They knocked Forspoken off the map. They knocked it off the map, bro. Nobody's playing no Forspoken over Hi-Fi Rush. That game did numbers on PC and Xbox. Cloud gaming, man, come on, man. Game Pass, come on. Over 30 million subscribers. Come on, man. What you think was gonna happen? Oh man, I'm talking about, man, like I said before, and I'm sticking to my guns, man. Xbox been dropping bangers ever since this year started, man. And now we got all these little fanboys and ponies stirring everything up because they're mad PS5 ain't got no games. Like I said, this year, I can only speak for this year, but man, PS5 is trash this year. It is hot garbage, man. Only thing they got is Spider-Man. That's it. That's the only game I would love to play is Spider-Man. Other than that, I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man, but outside of that, bro, I don't see nothing else I can respect. All these little exclusive backdoor deals old Lion, Crying, Flying, Jim Ryan been doing behind Xbox back. Square Enix, garbage studio. I hope they go out of business, bro. I hope everybody leaves them and go somewhere else and help build games. I don't care for Square Enix. I don't want nothing to do with them anymore. I'm not supporting Square Enix. I hope they get blackballed. I hope they get canceled because they've been doing this little shady little backdoor deals. All these little fake phony ponies outraging, trying to recruit Xbox fans over frame rate because they mad they ain't got no games. So that's the only thing they can talk about is frame rate. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, if you want to run it 60 FPS, you better go and get you a PS5. Man, what a game's at? Stop the cap. That's what we want to hear. Boo, how about you start sending games day one to PlayStation Plus, Jim Ryan? How about you start doing that? Stop robbing your own fan base. Now they're increasing the prices to the PS5 games again. The console was already had an increase on price. Now they're raising the price on gaming. Now what's next? The VR2 is gonna go up to $1,000 too. Come on, man, this is a joke. This whole generation of PS5 has been a joke since day one, man. Look, okay, they wooed everybody in with the first games they dropped. Everybody's like, okay, this right here, man, this generation finna be lit. And then it starts slowly slowing down. But see, what they did was they capitalized on PS4 wave. But see, this generation is going to be different because see, Xbox finally gets to prove herself. So that's why they're bringing out all their guns. Like I said before, man, Xbox is slapping PS5 around right now. It's like first PlayStation was Ali, but see, Xbox is like Tyson. And you know what I'm saying? They're coming up in the game. And I'm talking about they're KOing people left and right. They're knocking people out left and right, man. Every month they knocking these things down, man. They got banger after banger after banger. Redfall's about to drop. You already got previews, you already got videos, you already see how awesome the game looks. And these ponies are stressing about frame rate because they ain't got no games. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. And you want to go back and talk about Hi-Fi Rush? They're scared of the Call of Duty Activision Blizzard deal that's about to go through and be approved, man. Even without Call of Duty, Xbox still got more bangers than PS5 this year. Back to back. Without it. And on top of that, we're going to have every Call of Duty going to be day one and dropping in the Game Pass. And now they have Game Pass in 40 different countries. Come on, man, stop the cap, bro. Why are y'all trying to cap for Jim Ryan, somebody that don't even care about y'all? Jim Ryan don't care about you. He don't care about the gaming industry. The only thing this man cares about is money. And I know these fanboys can see it. I know they can see it, man. So what we gonna do, man? We just gonna kick back, relax. That's all we're gonna do, and just let this deal go through and continue to watch these ponies cry and shed tears. Man, I'm talking about, man, they're galloping over there on Twitter. I'm talking about they're uproaring. They're always coming up with this little fake news, these little false narratives. They're always moving the goalposts to make their self feel good, to boost their own confidence. But we already know who is the best box. It's Xbox. You know what I'm saying? These clowns are talking about frame rate. You know how many idiotic ponies I've been seeing talking about, oh man, you don't need to get no Xbox, man. I wasted my money on the Xbox Series X. It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it. Listen here, you idiot. This generation, we're still making games for PS4 and Xbox One. They ain't even kicked off this generation, completely crossed over to next gen yet. So how do you even know? They haven't fully crossed over yet and made every game only for PC, next gen, and that's Xbox Series S and X and PS5. They're still making games on PS4. For all you clowns know, they're gonna put Spider-Man 2 on PS4. That's probably still a toss-up. They don't even know what they're gonna do with that yet. And y'all got some nerve to worry about Hi-Fi Rush? Come on, man. Like I said before, man, soon as this roadmap came out with Uncle Phil, Game Pass, day one's coming and dropping in it's 12 months, man. Some games ain't gonna make it 12 months, but when they come out, they're still gonna be a smash hit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, get ready for Redfall. Then we can get ready for Starfield, stuff like that, Stalker 2. We don't know if Hellblade is gonna drop into that, you know, gap around probably like later on this year sometime. But Forza Motorsports as well, for all my people that love to race, and we know that game is coming fully loaded. It's probably gonna be 60 to probably 120 out the box. Ain't no telling how the FPS is gonna work on a game like that, because that game looks amazing. Hands down, it's way better than Gran Turismo 7. Smashing Gran Turismo 7. Y'all already seen it, man. Y'all already seen the screenshots. Y'all already seen the gameplay. Come on, stop the cap ponies trying to make the game look bad. Anything Xbox does good, the ponies trying to make it look bad, like it's a bad thing that Xbox is trying to compete. I don't understand that. Like, everything is a console war. Like, they can't say, okay, at least Uncle Phil and Xbox Game Pass, at least they're trying this generation. At least they're trying, you know what I'm saying, to bring value to the gaming community, which Sony not doing. Sony is robbing their own fan base. I don't understand how you guys are sitting around a table and defending Jim Ryan. He's jacking the price up on the games and the PS5. Like, are y'all that brainwashed? I don't know, man. I'm lost right now. Like, I'm extremely confused about that. Everything that Xbox do is wrong. They always move the goalposts, bro. Like, it just gets stupid after a while. It's like, okay, we're going back and forth, and clearly Sony ain't got no games for y'all, but they keep raising the price, trying to make it seem like they're the more premium console. And what is so premium about the PlayStation that's over the Xbox? They ain't bringing no value. If they was jacking the price up on the console, but they had PlayStation Plus dropping day ones, AAA bangers, multi-plats, indie games day one, and the PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Plus Premium, and they had an app for mobile tablets, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a lot different, but they don't. And you got a nerve to try to knock Hi-Fi Rush though? Like, I'm so lost right now. That's what I'm so confused. Jim Ryan ain't even worrying about games right now. He's still trying to focus on blocking the Call of Duty Activision Blizzard deal. They're making Horizon woke, just destroyed the game for most people that's diehard fans. You know what I'm saying? They're going backwards, bro. Like I said, they don't have no good leadership over there at Sony. Like, they need like some real serious help, and they got some nerve to talk about Uncle Phil. Man, these are some clowns, bro. And I'm gonna leave it right there, man. I'm just gonna drop a video, man, and we're gonna keep rubbing it in their face. Ooh, bro, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna stop. We're gonna continue to rub these videos in their face. We're gonna continue to drop that hot fire content. It's gonna stay lit each and every day, man. It's not gonna stop. And I think this is what's making them mad and upset, because they know we're not gonna stop. They know we're gonna keep going. They know we're gonna keep dropping those bangers.
Redfall is creepy. The town is littered with stories of people who were attacked by or turned into vampires when the vampire gods took over the once charming island town. Wandering through dark spaces with only a flashlight to guide the way heightens tension even when armed. Developer Arcane Austin knows how to craft a menacing atmosphere. However, the odds change noticeably when other players join the adventure. Together, we made quick work of vampires, their cult followers, and the mercenary group intent on taking us down. Instead of quiet mutters in the dark, there was camaraderie, and what was once a potentially chilling challenge through an infested city became a hunting party ready to take on the biggest baddies with guns and powers blazing. I had the pleasure of playing about 4 hours of Redfall on PC with 1, 2, and 3 additional co-op members. In that time, we liberated a community center, took on the procedurally generated vampire nests, fought mini-bosses, and did plenty of exploring. My temporary teammates at Arcane Austin indulged me in trying out the hard difficulty, and with that settled, we were off. The Redfall developers have made it abundantly clear at this point that, despite having the look of some other looter shooters or 4-player co-op games, Redfall is still an arcane game. Sure, there are limited abilities per character and stealth isn't as big of a factor, but the storytelling and simulated world are all there. You'll randomly stumble across a vampire feasting on an unfortunate victim, opposing factions suddenly break out in gunfire, and sometimes you'll hear enemies discuss their plans for the future. This all still feels true with two-player co-op. The bulk of my playtime at Arcane Austin was with creative director Ricardo Bear, who played as Jacob, a former mercenary turned solo sniper with a magical eye and raven to go with it. I tested Devinder, a cryptid hunter who came to Redfall for a book signing and ended up putting his tools to use to help liberate the town. I picked up the controller and promised Bear I'd rein in my worst gaming tendencies, scanning the contents of a shop for spare health in imaginary junk food my character doesn't need but deserves, and watching enemy patterns to scheme the best way to eliminate them as efficiently as possible. Old habits die hard, and I frequently found myself drifting off our path to explore. With only one other person on the adventure, more often than not, I felt like we were partner detectives. Redfall stands still in the moment the vampires attacked. Though we didn't spend much time with the main Redfall story, what I know is this. In order to defeat the now reigning vampire gods of Redfall, we must first understand who they were before they turned. Then we can strike. Before then, though, we had plenty of fun coordinating attacks against lesser but still powerful vampires and their followers. I did get to liberate the Redfall Maritime Center from a menacing blood tree, though. It was a quick fight with some loot and story beats as a reward. With the center free, we were able to collaborate with the civilians to establish another main base of operations. Working with the people of Redfall is not only a major story element, but a nice general theme that's apparent through all its parts. For instance, instead of getting money, you earn support. The currency is earned by completing objectives and finding useful items that go back to the folks hiding in safe houses. Toilet paper has a higher value than, say, a creepy doll or a wedding ring.
Get ready.
Layla joined us next.
That's a neat trick.
Her psychic abilities are versatile, but probably the coolest part of her kit is how she can call in her vampire ex-boyfriend to help slay enemies. Combat balance with 3 players still felt good as we challenged more special vampires. The best chance we had at a guaranteed fight with good loot was by taking on side quests. We did one that required us to eliminate another blood tree, but this time Redfall's iconic angler waited inside the tree as its fiend. This vampire was noticeably at a disadvantage when taking on 3 of us, as it was only able to target and reel in 1 player, but it still got some pulls on us that we were able to quickly counter. During our time taking on cult camps, we encountered other special vampires among their ranks. These included things like the Shroud, a tricky vampire that casts a dark bubble over players, limiting their field of vision with a dark purple wall. She'll also throw attacks that can be rather damaging if you're not paying attention. Then there was the Blood Bag, a gross vampire that floated around with sacks of blood that, when destroyed, does explosive damage. Killing any of these special vampires and completing objectives contributes to angering the vampire gods. A meter shows up as a reminder. Once full, the Rook appears. The only way to be rid of a Rook is to either die or kill it. Like other special vampires, the Rook can teleport and has its own special abilities, like summoning the thunderstorm that does heavy damage if you stay outside. However, kiting indoors poses its own challenges as the Rook is fast. Slaying the Rook gives a guaranteed unrivaled drop, the most powerful kind of weapon in Redfall. Random enemies getting dragged into a Rook fight or any boss fight certainly makes these encounters more challenging, but even that changes when 4 heroes are in the party. Our 4th and final player joined in as Remy,
Let's make it quick then.
the last of the 4 characters available at launch. Like Dev, Remy is big on gadgets. Her robot partner Brabone can distract enemies, she's got C4 to explode enemies from afar, and her ultimate serves as a massive buff to revive fallen allies in the well and heal all members in the well over time. The 4-player co-op dynamic is as chaotic as you'd imagine it, though it was also easy to pair off and approach objectives creatively. Sometimes one of us would use a cool UV weapon to turn a vampire to stone from afar, giving the other an opportunity to finish it off with a satisfying punch. Redfall doesn't require each player to use a different character, nor is any character limited on the weapons they can use, making character selection a personal but optional strategic choice too. The main new challenge we took on as a group was fighting our way through vampire nests. These procedurally generated challenges only take a few minutes to get through and don't necessarily involve combat. In our run, we got the basic blood trance nest characteristic, one that meant all vampires were asleep and would wake upon being attacked, or if we touched the blood tendrils connecting them to the nest. We carefully avoided them, destroying the heart at the end of the nest to trigger its collapse, and gathered a ton of loot before making our escape. If you don't leave before the nest completely destabilizes, you'll only lose the bonus experience that's awarded for successfully escaping. Nests provide an interesting gameplay element aside from a one-off adventure. Their territory is marked by a field that gives a buff to all vampires within its vicinity, making the area more dangerous. The longer a nest is left alone, the larger its territory becomes. Arcane Austin studio director Harvey Smith told me that other nest characteristics include things like a completely dark version filled with the sleeping vampire traps, and even nests with fire hazards everywhere. Cozy, huh? Despite playing on the hard difficulty, mini-boss challenges like the Rook were easy to take on with 4 people. Instead of requiring a ton of kiting to take it down, we just let Brabone grab its attention and filled the monster with bullets. Bear did say Arcane is constantly tuning difficulty, and I even heard him making notes to the team watching us play regarding changes he wanted to make. We weren't on the final build either, which was noticeable with some graphical glitches and hitches, but that's not too unusual with pre-release builds. And as with most games these days, Bear said they'd be listening to the Redfall community post-launch and tune the game as needed. Combat aside, one of the greatest joys in co-op with all the characters are the interactions.
There she is.
It's not only their conversations, but also how they engage with the world. For example, each character plays instruments with varying levels of skill. It's a small detail, but a delightful one that further immersed me in Arcane's Redfall. Collecting notes and taking stock of the little details did make me feel like I was falling behind my team at times, but exploration is still important. For instance, we found a series of bells that, when rung correctly, led to a secret area with loot and plenty of vampires to fight. Even with the additional time I got in Redfall, I haven't gotten to play much with weapon loadouts or skill trees. My time did confirm that when Redfall is out on May 2nd, I'll want to have multiple instances going. A solo playthrough so I can explore corners and read notes to my heart's content, and at least one instance of a co-op game so I can learn more about all the characters. I'm still unsure about who I want to play, but I know at the very least I'm going to have a good time staking vampires. For more on Redfall, don't miss our single-player preview, and for everything else in the world of gaming, stick